Welcome back to a brand new explainer. We're jumping straight into an absolutely incredible ancient mystery today. We're stepping back in time, literally walking right into a first century temple to uncover a profound story based on the writings of Saint Jacob of Serugh. Now, this was curated by Father Tadros E. Malati, and if you love digging into the hidden layers beneath ancient texts, you are in the exact right place. We're going to piece together a moment that honestly completely defies logic.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this right here, this is the ultimate hook. Why on earth is a man who is 2 centuries old standing in a temple, holding a 40-day-old infant, and literally begging that baby to release him from life? It sounds impossible, right? Like a totally upside-down situation. But this is exactly the scene we're unpacking today. It's this wild riddle of time, humility, and spiritual vision that just completely flips our understanding of reality on its head.
Section 1. The 2-century wait. So, to wrap our heads around this riddle, we gotta start with the man himself. Simeon wasn't just old. The guy was an anomaly, over 200 years old. I mean, just pause and think about that for a second. Every single person he grew up with, that whole generation who saw him being born, long dead and gone. Yet death was basically forbidden to touch him. According to these ancient texts, God kept Simeon alive like a stone placed on the road. He was locked into this prolonged life for one highly specific encounter. He literally couldn't leave this earth until he witnessed what they called the consummation. Saint Jacob of Serugh actually captures this so beautifully. Look at this quote. He was bound in life and suspended on hope against death until that guide should come. You see, Simeon was essentially a prisoner of hope. You can picture him just sitting by the road of the world, getting more and more exhausted, looking at every single newborn baby that passed by. He was desperately waiting for the Lord of Times, the true guide, to finally show up and give him rest from the agonizing burden of living that long. Moving into Section 2, Simeon's hidden vision. All right, so after 200 years, the waiting finally ends. And what's really fascinating here is the sheer mind-blowing contrast between the physical reality and the invisible spiritual reality. Picture the crowd in the temple: priests, Levites, everyday visitors. What did they see? To them, it's just a really old, nearly blind guy holding a baby born to a poor carpenter and his young wife. Simple as that. But Simeon's eyes were wide open. He didn't just see stone temple walls. He saw the Lord of Heavens arriving in his own house. He saw the invisible realm, literally angels and heavenly hosts bowing down in absolute awe, and the spirits of ancient patriarchs, guys like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, just rejoicing. It was a totally different reality. And the Spirit actually called out to Simeon to come and receive this child. Now, the text makes a point to say that this invitation wasn't just a one-off thing for a 200-year-old man back in antiquity. It's actually a bridge right to us today. The child Jesus is still asking, "Why do you close your eyes for me?" The Spirit is still inviting people right now to carry the Savior in their hearts, just like Simeon carried him physically in his arms. It's basically this open invitation for us to have our own eyes opened. Which brings us to Section 3, the paradox of sacrifice. As Simeon is holding this child, we hit what is arguably the most mind-bending part of Saint Jacob of Serugh's theology. This is the central paradox. On one hand, you've got the physical reality, right? A 40-day-old baby wrapped up in swaddling clothes being offered with 2 young doves, which, by the way, was strictly known as the sacrifice of the poor. But on the other hand, look at the spiritual reality. This baby is the Ancient of Days. He's the great heavenly high priest. He is literally the one who ordained the law of Moses to begin with, and who receives all sacrifices alongside God the Father. So Simeon is standing there, holding these 2 cheap pigeons Joseph brought in, just thinking, how on earth can I offer a sacrifice on behalf of the Lord of all sacrifices? I mean, let's just pause for a second and really let the absolute shock Simeon must have felt sink in. He is standing in the temple, holding the literal creator of the universe, in this incredibly fragile, ordinary human form. The one who built the cosmos is right there, bundled up like any other human infant. Saint Jacob of Serugh describes this moment with an absolute poetic masterpiece. Let me read this to you, it's amazing. A lump of earth carried in its hands the sea. A straw solemnly carried the flame, but it is not burned up. Notice how he uses these literal physical impossibilities to describe the incarnation of God. Simeon is the lump of earth, carrying the boundless sea. He's the dry straw holding a blazing coal of fire, and yet, no, he isn't consumed. It's just a stunning way to capture the sheer, overwhelming weight of what is actually happening. And the theological punchline here is huge. The creator of time, the Lord of the Seas, the high priest. He chose the ultimate path of humility. He didn't come in demanding the grandest, most expensive offerings. He humbled himself to be redeemed by the sacrifice of the poor, specifically so that no one could ever deny his humanity. He came to fulfill the exact order that he himself had set up.
Section 4. Mary's profound mystery.
Now, while Simeon is having this immense revelation, you have to remember the young Virgin Mary is standing right there. She's watching this ancient 200-year-old man interrogate and plead with her newborn baby. The texts suggest Mary was marveling discernibly, her mind just racing with this rapid-fire internal monologue. I mean, imagine what's going through her head. Old man, how is this tiny infant going to release you? When did he ever bind you in the first place? You say you've been waiting for him, but he's only 40 days old. How does he even know what you're saying to him? Is this whole story from eternity? She knows her son is miraculous, for sure, but Simeon is talking to the child like they've had this secret agreement stretching back to before time even existed.
And Simeon's mind-blowing answer to Mary's silent questions hits the nail on the head. He reveals that her newborn son actually predates human history itself. He says to her, "Eve, your mother, is immensely younger than he, for he is the one who governs all times and their ordering." He's looking right at this young mother and telling her that the baby she just gave birth to is older than the very first woman to ever walk the earth, because he is the creator who made the universe. So, with this intricate, divine pattern finally made clear to Mary, and with Simeon having witnessed the spiritual reality of the Ancient of Days right there in his arms, the stage is set. We're at the culmination of Simeon's incredibly long life, and he is finally ready to make his last radical request. Section 5. A Message for the Dead. This brings us to the epic conclusion of Simeon's mission. And guys, it goes far, far beyond just an old man wanting to die peacefully. Simeon pleads with the child, saying, "Sprinkle death upon my burden, set me in the deposit among the dead." You see, Simeon isn't just tired of living, he's asking for release because he has a highly specific destination in mind. He wants to go to Sheol, the realm of the dead, where generations of prophets, kings, and patriarchs have been waiting in the dark. So the crucial point here is that Simeon wants to be the ultimate cosmic messenger. He says, "There I shall narrate to Eve regarding your birth. Your daughter has given birth to an aged infant who will redeem you." He literally wants to run down to the underworld to tell Adam, to tell Eve, all the prophets and the kings that the wait is finally over. The promise is fulfilled. He is actively asking for death so he can bring good hope to the hopeless. And this ancient perspective, it completely transforms a simple, quiet temple ritual, just a poor family offering 2 pigeons for a newborn, into this sweeping, cosmic rescue mission. A mission whose echoes shatter the boundaries of time, ringing out through the realms of both the living and the dead. And that brings us to the end of today's explainer, but I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. We saw how a crowd looked at an ordinary baby and a blind old man, but completely missed the creator of the universe, holding court in his own temple. So I have to ask you, are your eyes open to the profound spiritual realities hidden in the seemingly ordinary, everyday moments of your own life? It's something truly incredible to ponder. Thanks for learning with me today, and keep your eyes open.